What up, YouTube? So this is going to be part 4 of the Acura Rsx Type S RBB K24 swap. And now that we got the motor all prepped up and ready, I'm going to get ready to drop this in. I just got to move out a couple things. So make sure this is out the way. Slave cylinder. And make sure power steering. Alright, yeah, so pretty much just gonna try to get this in for now, and then we got a whole bunch of stuff we got to start connecting: heater hoses, slave cylinder, shifter cables, throttle cable, power steering, axles, exhaust, etc. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this motor dropped in and we'll come back. Alright, so we're back now and the motor is back in. We got the 3 motor mount bolts on the back, which are 314s. We got 3 17s on the tranny, and a 17 on the motor mount itself. We got a 17 up front, and then 3 17s over here. So yeah, it's pretty much mounted in. Now we can actually start getting to the easy fun stuff, which is pretty much just putting it all back together. So I'm gonna start with the simple stuff. We got 2 grounds, so we got one right here with a 10 mil, and we got one here for a 10 mil. And then I'll probably slap on the slave cylinder, 2 12mm bolts. That's pretty simple. And then we got our 2 8mm that need to go to the fuse box. We'll knock those out real quick. And then I guess we'll just do that real fast, and then we'll come back and see what we're gonna do next. Alright, so got the 2 12mm bolts on the slave cylinder, so that's done. Got the ground for our transmission and our ground for our passenger side bracket, and I did the 2 8mm that's connected to the fuse box with the little plug right here on the side. So it's pretty much ready to go. I think the next thing we should do is probably get to the shift linkage. So that's literally just 3 12mm bolts right here, and then the little washers that go over it. So we'll get that going next, and then we'll run the ECU harness to the inside and connect our ECU plugs and C101 so we can get this all cleaned up. And then we'll also plug in the little straps that go on here, or the clips that go onto here. And we'll also do the battery tray. So we got 2 12s up top, 2 12s at the bottom. These can just slide in, and then we'll tighten those down, and then we'll put the little clips that come from right here onto that, and on from the ground. And then I guess after that we'll go from that, and we'll do the rear heater hoses for now, and then we'll come back and see what we got to do next. All right, so we got the shifter cables on, we got our battery tray on here, and then I ran the ECU wiring. So C101 and the 2 A and B plugs are connected now. So make sure our shifter is good. All right. Next thing, I'll probably do something simple, like I said, to keep things moving and to show you guys how simple it is to drop this swap in. So next thing we got to do is a throttle cable. So we'll get these connected. I guess we connect fuel. I actually want to cut this real quick before I connect the fuel. So this right here is kind of in the way, so I can't really bolt it onto the head. So I have to shave this off right here. Since the K24 is a little bit different, so I'm gonna shave that down, and then we can connect our fuel, evap, and our brake booster line. And then I think after that we'll start attacking the exhaust manifold. Since that's in the back, I want to do that before the axles. I actually got to go get another gasket because the gasket on here was coming apart. It actually had like some silicone on it too, so it really wasn't no good anyways. So we are going to be using the stock exhaust manifold. It will work on the K24. I believe if you run headers on the K24 with the RSX, you have to run the EM2 sway bar. So yeah, that's for sure. I think you have to do it on certain type. I think some styles, like the 421s, you don't have to, but for sure, like Skunk 2 or like the bigger PLM ones, you do have to. So I'm gonna get to shaving that. We'll go ahead and get the cables connected, and then we'll do all our lines and everything, and then we'll start getting to, I still got to do the other side of the rear heater hose and connect the back. So heater hoses, lines, and cables, and then we'll come back. All right, so we got our little bracket modified. Just want to show you guys. So now that bolt can go on there, it's clear. We got our throttle cable, cruise control connected. We got our rear radiator hoses, heater hoses basically connected. Evap, brake booster, and fuel is connected now. So all that's done. Over here we have the exhaust manifold connected, complete. Clears perfectly fine with the K24. If you are using a stock exhaust manifold and everything, like I said, if you're using headers, you might have to swap out that sway bar to an EM2, depending on size. Next we're gonna start getting to is probably the axles. So I gotta break this one loose, put this one in, and then the other side, break it loose, and put the half shaft in, since it's still connected to the spindle and everything. Other than that, we're pretty much getting there. We just have to start getting to the AC lines after we do the axles, radiator and condenser, and then I gotta go pick up a pulley and a new belt. Once I get the new belt, I'll show you the part number, just in case you guys need to know what that is. Even though it's just gonna be a TSX stock belt, since we're running on this setup a AC pump and power steering still. If you're not running like a regular K24 with just no power steering, which would just be a pulley kit and no AC, that'd be like a 52-inch belt. And for K20, it's a 50.5-inch belt. So if you're doing a swap on anything else, you can check out my other videos and see exactly what I use. But other than that, I'm gonna get to this axles, and then we can get the car dropped down, and then we'll go from there to see exactly what we're gonna do next. All right, so we got our axles in, and the wheels are back on the ground. Suspension's tightened up. We just got to put some transmission fluid. Whenever you're putting transmission fluid in, I usually put it through right here, through the speed sensor. So it's a 12 millimeter, just pop that out, and that'll be good. Right now, I'm gonna start getting to, I gotta take this T bracket off and bumper and get the radiator in here, throw the new thermostat, and then we can start putting the condenser AC lines together. And then I gotta go to the store, get some oil for this thing, and then we can get the intake on here, and that should be pretty much ready for startup. So I'm gonna go ahead and start knocking this radiator out and condenser and AC lines, and then we'll come back. All right, so we pretty much got almost everything ready. We got our T-bar, radiator, condenser all connected. Just a 10 right here, 10 right here, a lot of 10s right here, one right here, and then the brackets. The T-bar, is one at the bottom as well. We got our new thermostat on. The old one looks like it was getting ready to go. Well, can't really tell, but it's definitely the original. So we got that on. We got our intake. I had to modify this bracket right here, since the K21 is different, so I had to cut it off as well. So I got the battery all in with the covers and everything. All the radiator hoses are connected. So pretty much it's ready to start. I gotta go get some oil, and then I'm gonna get the belt so we can get that installed and install the pulley. And then that'll probably be it. There's still some other things I gotta do. I still gotta put these brackets on and everything, but that'll be for the next video, because we still gotta do the brake caliper on this side, figure out how to get that tightened on. If anything, I might have to get a new caliper or a spindle on that. Other than that, yeah, I need to get some oil in here, put some fluids, make sure it runs good, and then after that we'll end the video. All right, so we're back now. I got the belt on, power steering, tensioner, and this is the belt part number that I got. So This is just a TSX belt, pretty much 2004 stock. I filled up my oil, got the old oil drained out, got some new oil in here, tightened up my battery cables, and now it's pretty much ready to start. Actually, I gotta go get the key real fast, so I'm gonna get that real quick, and then I'll show you the steps I use to get this motor to crank up the first try if everything is done right. So I'm gonna get the key and come back. All right, so first thing I like to do is just give everything the fuel of prime at least 3 times, and just to make sure that there's gonna be fuel, and then we'll go check to see if there's any leaks or anything. So that's 2. Okay, you should hear the fuel pump come on pretty decent when it's primed. I don't see any leaks or anything, so we should be ready to start up. So let's see if this red line engine is a good one for sure. Yeah, we have a check engine light for something. I'll scan that in a little bit. But it does run. First time startup, as usual. See if there's any smoke. No smoking or anything. So I'll pretty much just go over, see what the check engine light. I'm pretty sure it's something simple that just got disconnected or isn't connected right now, but seems like the motor's running good. Next video, like I said, I want to clean everything up, go over everything, and then we will start taking it for a test drive. I got to bleed the radiator and everything, and make sure the check engine light is off. So if you haven't, like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys in the next video.